Hey buddy, got some coffee here on this extremely cold day. I guess winter's here after all. We had a few warm days there, like 75 degrees, 80 degrees, and then the next day, which was it yesterday or today? Freezing cold. So can't be avoided, I suppose. Got a vinyl update here anyway, because the weather doesn't stop the vinyl records from coming in, or from me going out looking for them, I should say. The first thing I want to show is not a vinyl record, but it's the new Metallica, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and this is the deluxe version, 3-disc. And it has a little insert there. Actually, it's a pretty good size insert, and you know, it's the standard fare with the lyrics and so on. This is, like I said, the deluxe version. The third disc, the first 2 discs is the album, and the third disc is the bonus one. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 5 new songs as bonus tracks. One of those is being live from the new album. And then it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more bonus tracks of their older material from their earlier stuff. So if you see this out somewhere, you might want to pick it up. I've listened to some of it, and it sounds good. You know, I haven't digested the whole thing, but you know, I pretty much buy everything Metallica puts out. There was a couple albums back in the 90s that I didn't actually buy when they came out, but I eventually bought them, and I can appreciate, you know, the different styles and changes that they went through, just like any band, I suppose. So moving on to some 45s that I found. This one, it looked interesting, and I thought, what is that? And it's actually a double 45 of one of my favorite artists, Lena Levitt. And I thought that was really unusual. And there's the 45 there, or one of the 45s. There's 2 songs on each side, and it came out in 1980. These are live tracks on this one, and the other one is, this one definitely looked like it's been played too. These are studio tracks, come out in 79. There's one song on this side just called Joan, and then the other side there's one song, What Will I Do Without You. So yeah, I thought that was quite a unusual find. I didn't say the tracks on this first one here. It's Money Talk, The Night, and Too Tender to Touch, and You Can't Kill Me. And this is on Stiff Records. A lot of good artists on Stiff Records, I found out. Then I also picked up another Buddha record, Ohio Express, which I have this one, Yummy Yummy Yummy, and Zigzag on the other side, which is a track in reverse, a different track in reverse. The Brooklyn Bridge, The Worst That Could Happen, which I also have this, Your Kite, My Kite on the other side. And then one of my favorite songs of all time, Indian Giver, 1910 Fruit Gum Company, and Pow Wow on the other side, which is also another backwards track. A creepy one, actually, but in a good way. This is also the 1910 Fruit Gum Company with Simon Says and Reflections from the Looking Glass. And most of these had the original sleeve. These 2 are different. There's one a bit different there. But yeah, you've heard me talk about Buddha before. I mean, that's like my favorite label of all time. And almost every artist that's on it, too, as far as that goes. This is sort of a one-hit wonder in the 70s. Ma Belle Amy, the Tea set on Colossus Records. Actually has the original sleeve of that one, too. And then Angels Coming in the Holy Night on the other side. And then another cool one to find, Venus by the Shocking Blue on Colossus, and Hot Sand on the other side. I love the Shocking Blue. If you're not familiar with them, you really should check them out. They have a lot of good songs, a lot of good tracks. And then I just went through some of the magazines that they had there at, I was at Half Price where I got, I think where I got all of these, yes. And they had a lot of Mad magazines there, which most of them were higher priced. They were all varied prices. And then they had some cracked magazines. So I picked up the ones that I used to have as a kid and I don't have anymore. So there's this one. You know, Star Wars was extremely popular in the 70s. And to a certain extent still is. So there's that one. This one came out in November of, I'm not sure what year, 70 something. And then there's this one here. This is in January. But I just love these covers because I used to just stare at them when I was a kid. So yeah, I picked those up for a decent price. And then onto the vinyl. Just a few things here. I only have one other album. I guess it's a double album by this artist. And I've been really on a goth kick lately. So I've been picking up a lot of those kinds of things, and also alternative music. You know, which I jump back and forth between genres a lot, considering I like everything. You know, it's just bound to happen. So this is The Cure, The Head on the Door, on the Back to Black reissue. And didn't have this one, of course, so I seen it and didn't hesitate. This has In Between Days on it. The Blood and Closer to Me is on here. So yeah, The Cure, I mean, if you're not into The Cure, if you're not aware of The Cure, you really should be. And then there's the album, just black vinyl. Glorious black vinyl. Haven't given this one a spin yet, but I will be doing that very shortly. This one also came with a download card. So yeah, 180 gram, 60th vinyl anniversary, Back to Black. Not the album. This one came out in 85. So The Cure. That's that. And then here's one. This is an artist that it did not actually have any on vinyl, or CD for that matter. I'll take this out of the sleeve here. It's Joy Division. And this is the one that you see everywhere, Unknown Pleasures. And this is the reissue from Rhino. And there's this black vinyl with the white on one side and the black on the other. And like I said, I've been checking out a lot of these bands lately. This is the actual sleeve. It's like a little cardstock sleeve. I'm not real familiar with Joy Division. I mean, I have a box set with a couple of their songs on it, a Goth box set. And I'd listened to a lot of them here recently online. And I really like the guy's voice. It's sort of different for what I consider to be goth. But, you know, that genre has a lot of different styles and sounds, so it's not really limited to one specific thing. Even though people do that with every genre, they sort of limit, you know, clump everybody into the same thing, whether they are or not. So yeah, there's Joy Division. They had, when I first went to Half Price, I don't know, about a week or so ago, they had 3 copies of this album. They had this one, and they had the 2007 version, which I guess was the last time it was out on vinyl, and then they had another version, which was, something was different about it, I don't remember what it was, but that one was gone, and they had this one and the other one, so I wanted to get the 180 gram, because, I don't know, I just prefer that. And then this one, I had just downloaded a couple of their songs recently, actually from this album, and I thought, man, I'd really love to find something of theirs. I don't have anything, and you just never see it, and I'm sure that if I was to run across anything by this band, I wouldn't be able to afford it, you know, because it would just be I don't know how rare it is, but to me it'd seem seemingly rare. It's The Mentors. You Asked for It. And this came out in 1985. And look how beautiful they are. Not the girls, but the band themselves. This is out on Metal Blade originally. It says Death Records here, but on the back it says Death Records is a division of Metal Blade. I'll get that right in a minute. Marketed by Enigma. So there's songs on here like Sandwich of Love, Shocked and Grossed, Sleep Bandits, Golden Showers. Some of these I'm not even going to say. And then the band members, you got Sicky Wife Beater is on guitars, and Dr. Heathen Scum on bass, and the drummer El Duce, drums and vocals. You might know him from, he was on the documentary Kurt and Courtney, Kurt and Courtney, where the guy that was doing the documentary interviewed El Duce, and he was saying how that Courtney Love had hired him, or at least offered him some money to kill Kurt Cobain, and shortly after that, when the documentary was still being filmed, I guess El Duce got run over by a train. So I don't know if that was just a coincidence, or if what he was saying was true, and somebody took him out. Started telling. I guess he'd been drinking and everything, so anything can happen. But if you ever see that documentary out somewhere and you don't have it, you haven't seen it, you might want to check it out, because it's very entertaining. I'm all about conspiracy theories and just the thoughts of what could happen. There's a Nirvana poster right there, by the way. And there's Kurt Cobain right there, by the way. And so, anyway, it's good. Kurt and Courtney, which is totally off the subject because I didn't show any Nirvana records or Hole. So that's my short vinyl update and various odds and ends. Please subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for subscribing if you have on this cold winter day. Thanks for watching, and I think I'm about half warm now because I was outside earlier. So we'll see you in the next video coming up. Have a good one, and don't take any wooden pickles because you'll get splinters in your teeth.